Did you stuff yourself? Why do we do this to ourselves? Good evening, folks. Another episode of the Video Call-In Show. That show where you have the ability to call in, teleconference in at any time. If you notice, there's a video conferencing ID, and you'll have to forgive the slurs. I've had a few, and on top of my turkey, I've had a few of these. I tell you, there's nothing better than washing down a good turkey dinner with a few busted knuckles or any porter of your choice. Oh boy, so yeah, it's Thanksgiving, and it is the day for thanks. I personally have a lot to be thankful for. I've got my family, both my wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, my year-old granddaughter. I have my father and my mother. They're both still alive. Thank Christ. And and of course, for the most part, I have my health. Now that's not entirely, none of that is perfect. Oh, by the way, I'm your host, Jim. Yeah, I was playing with some lower thirds and thought that that kind of fit the theme, if you will. And that's what I'm all about is making sure that the graphics are such that everybody's comfortable with them. It fits the brand. This show is actually fresh out of the gate, a brand that has never existed before. In fact, I don't even know if anyone is doing this at the moment. I did an exhaustive search on video call-in shows. There's, and I think I've gone over this in my first video, but there's a ton of radio call-in shows, radio style call-in shows. But I think this is the first one that's actually a video call-in show, and I do invite you to call in and join the show, and we can talk about. We can talk about anything we want to. We can talk about all the turkey you ate. We can talk about all the turkey that I ate, all of the fixins, if you will. Oh, I just don't know why we do it to ourselves every year. I mean, I'm already a man of 20 pounds overweight, and now I've got to lose 25. I'm gonna look like hell in that bikini come June. So. Yeah, if you've had far too much to eat, then by all means, let me know about it in the comments. Tell us all about the way that you suddenly made your belt no longer fit you. And I think we can all get on board with that, right? We know what that's like. This is actually a Fat Pants Thursday, as it is every year. Why wear a belt? If you're gonna go and stuff yourself on turkey and stuffing and all the standard fixins, I actually have my biggest problem with desserts, and I'll tell you why that is. This even happens in the restaurants. I'll stuff myself, and when it gets down to the time where all right, you're already done. You finished you cleaned your plate and we'll get into that. But you've cleaned your plate, and what's left? Well, they're going to ask you if you want dessert. Now, at a restaurant, I usually refuse because I've already eaten myself into a stupor, and I'm not going to pay for something that's going to make me even more painful, or put me in even more pain. But at home, that's not the case at all. You get me? I mean, you guys are doing the same thing, I'm sure. But yeah, at home, it might be an hour or two afterwards. I gotta have something to eat, so I end up with cookies or whatever sweets around. I got a horrible sweet tooth. So I want to hear about yours. So make sure you, if you don't call in, If you don't video conference in, then by all means leave a comment so that we can all talk about it, right? So, oh boy. So this is day 4, and I'm still having a lot of fun of it. If you haven't noticed, I got a new mic stand. It's a scissor stand, and I won't do this but once. And a new pop filter. Before I was just using the standard windscreen, which worked fine, but this one's a little more flexible. I think it's actually a little more effective against a poppy voice like mine. And of course, this is a great tip too, kids. When you're actually working with a microphone, you're going to get pops when you talk straight into it. If you talk off to the side enough to where the pops are going to go past the microphone, you're going to have so far fewer of those pops happening. And that tough sentence there calls for another drink. Oh yeah, and this is also the first day that we're going on live on Facebook at the same time. So if you have a chance, look over here in the doobly-doo. This isn't actually the doobly-doo, but it's my lower bar here. I've had to change my Twitter and my Facebook ads because Facebook wouldn't let me take video call-in, so I had to put in video call-in show and use that as a username. So you can find me now on Facebook on video call-in show, as well as on Twitter and video call-in show. The email address has not changed, so if you've got some questions and you don't want to put them into the comment box, by all means, just email me. Let me know what they are. We'll try to get it taken care of. My goal is beyond what has already been stated and quite obvious, is to make sure that I engage, make sure that I don't let any of these comments or emails drop off the face of the earth. Now that's going to be tougher as time moves on, so you'll have to be patient with me a bit because I do have to make money as well. I still want to keep this ad free, and I'm throwing around some ideas. Most people they want to monetize their YouTube videos, and that's all fine and good, but the money's not really there, and it kind of pisses off the viewers. I know it pisses me off. In fact, for several years, I would use an ad blocker. I was so ticked off, and here it is coming from a digital marketer of several years. I didn't didn't want to see my own ads. How horrible is that? Anyway, but I then realized that a lot of people are trying to make their living on this, and for several years after, since I just go ahead and allow the ads. Yeah, a lot of times I'll have to close them or skip or whatnot, but at least they're being seen for those content producers. And I think that's really important. I know this sounds like a precursor to making money, but as I understand it, there's not a whole lot of money to be made on YouTube ads. And I never undertook this with the intention of doing it for a living. I literally just wanted to try something that one, I don't know that anyone else has done, and two, something that other people can get involved in and even benefit from. So now I'm doing everything I can to keep this ad free. So what I'm going to do is eventually I'll end up probably as part of the split screen here is I'll end up adding my Patreon and my PayPal.me accounts to that, or at least links to it, so that you can donate if you feel the need. If you find value in the content that I'm producing and going to produce, then you'll have every opportunity to actually donate and make sure that one, I can keep the channel going. Two, I can continue to upgrade the entire experience. So that's enough of that. But anyway, as you know, the the sidebar here will tell you how you can join if you'd like to join. It's really easy. You visit zoom.us. That's zoom.us. You click on join a meeting, which is in the upper right hand side in the white navigation box. It'll ask you for a meeting number. You know the meeting number is right here. Enter that meeting number. You'll show up on my screen over here. We may be able to chat before you go on. You don't have to come on video. You can just come on with audio only. Although I prefer video. I think we all do. I mean, break out of your comfort zone, man. Try something different. That's what I'm doing. So, yeah, I'll see you. And if everything looks good, especially if you've got video, I'll be able to actually see your video before you go live. So I'll be able to make sure that it's all good, and I'll bring you on the show, and then we'll just talk. And it could be about anything. You could. I really want to hear about your turkey stories. If anyone jumps on tonight, if not, then by all means, talk about your what you do for a living. Talk about your family. And just leave me your first name. I'm not going to throw first name, last name on there. If you just leave me your first name, that's all I'll use in the lower third. And that lower third is actually this could be you. That's what it's going to be. And if we decide to take you full screen, in case you wanted to do a little video vignette, complete with, say, something like your video channel, which there's mine. All 3 videos, soon to be 4. But yeah, we can do that for you, and you can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about full screen, and then with your all cut back and forth. See, that's what we do, and I should say, while I'm at this, give me a second here to get things in order. Yeah, all of my videos are brought to you by LiveSwitch Media. LiveSwitch Media is a video production company that can help you capture and stream your live video content as it happens, and with multiple remote control cameras, all fully switched and edited live. From relatively small podcasts to large-scale events, we do it all. It's either local or local to indie or remote. Your content will appear as though it has gone through hours of unnecessary post-editing, allowing you to immediately repurpose it to meet your goals. We ask that you visit liveswitchmedia.com and let them know that you don't want to miss an opportunity to capture that valuable content. And again, that's liveswitchmedia.com. And full disclosure, that's my company. And I've been doing that for probably a year now. Everything from what I would consider a video podcast, which is this type of show right here, sometimes with a guest, sometimes without. From any, you can be in any location, and I can bring you in, and we can do this exact same thing where everything is live and pre-produced, switched, and then laid down to tape or live streamed. And it's all good for the end, because then I can actually hand you what appears like a post-produced piece that you can use anywhere. Use it anywhere your heart's desire, whether or not it's on your channel, whether it's on your Facebook, your social media properties, anywhere that you can reach that audience that you've always tried to reach with that video content. Okay, enough of that. So, like I said, we're into the turkey day, and I'm well into several of these. So I'm having a good time. I hope you are having a good time. It's always a wonderful thing to get together with family. I know that we're all kind of doing the same thing. So, Turkey Day, almost everybody visits someone in the United States, right? And then post Turkey Day, we usually have several families getting together, extended families that may not have been able to, on the actual day, get together on the Friday, the Saturday, and the Sunday following, which I'm no exception. We've got We've got a big shindig happening Sunday. I'm looking forward to. Well, I am now, but but as soon as I weigh myself Monday morning, I won't. But that's a problem we all have. Oh man, this happens every year, and I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying it's temporarily painful. And for some of us, that pain lives on as as our waists don't get any smaller right away. Oh, it's awful. So so yeah, what I want to hear from you in oh great, that's always awesome. Those are supposed to be turned off. At any rate, what I want to hear from you is what kind of Thanksgiving experiences have you had? I'll break this down into three. What is your favorite Thanksgiving event, or I should say, what is the best thing you remember about the best Thanksgiving you've ever had? What do you normally do during the Thanksgiving, and what's the worst memory you have of a Thanksgiving? That'll be interesting. So I'll make sure and reiterate those comments in the description box and perhaps on Facebook as well. So you'll be able to chime in and tell me. By the way, I can't do this without some help, and that help is got to be in the form of subscriptions. Now, most people will ask you for a subscription because, like we were talking about earlier, they want ad revenue. Well, I'm not looking for ad revenue. What I'm looking for are enough people that enjoy this type of content. There it is right there. See the subscribe button, click it, click the bell, make sure it rings for it. Well, it won't ring. That's my sound effect. Make sure you click the bell so that you'll be notified every time that we go live. And for now, that time is every single day. I want to make sure that this is an every single day sort of thing. Now, there are going to be some days where this won't happen. Today was almost one of them because I didn't know if I was going to get back in time. but my plan is for every single day to go live and talk about something. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that when you log in that we need to talk about what I'm talking about. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. So don't even think about that. And don't be shy. I mean, it's all for fun. It's all just a big fun thing. I'm really looking forward to having more people in. Now, you might be wondering why I've done 4 shows and nothing's happened. Well, try to start a channel on YouTube without paying for subscribers and viewers. It takes a bit of time for things to get going. So what I plan to do is to keep on bending your ear. Doesn't matter to me. I really want some guests so we can get in some interesting conversations. Too much vape. But if in the meantime, you're just going to have to listen to me talk and enjoy myself. I got to tell you, I'm only 4 shows into this, and I'm really having a great time. And it's not just because of the beer. I am really having a great time jumping in here, setting everything up. Now, I do this at Live Switch Media for several clients. Some of them I do right from this desk here, where I teleconference them in, and I actually have a pre-produced program ready to go, all using their branding, and all the way up to visiting venues and setting up several pan tilt zoom, fully remote controlled pan tilt zoom cameras around a venue, depending on what the production needs are, and recording that live event or live streaming it if that makes sense. Now live streaming doesn't always make sense. Sometimes when you live stream, you kind of give away too much. And let's say for instance you've got a conference that is paid, right? So you're actually selling tickets to this conference. Well, you don't necessarily want to live stream that whole thing unless it's behind a paywall. And that's something else we can talk about. But you don't want to live stream that entire show. because you'll just give it away. You'll give no one a reason to be there in person. And I think we all know that being somewhere in person is a lot. It's very exciting. The reason I do this is because there's so many people that can't be present at these events. And I won't do weddings, but think of a wedding. If you had a company that does what I do for weddings, it would be extremely valuable because there's Aunt Millie here we're in Indianapolis, but there's Aunt Millie way out there in Utah, can't come in. Yeah, she may be too sick or something. Well, if you were to live stream that event, she'd be able to see it real time. She'd actually even be able to participate because like we're doing now, and like several people have done with YouTube, and Facebook, is that the comments when they're live and rolling, they respond to them very very quickly, or they should, but they have the ability, I should say, to respond to those comments, and then suddenly, everyone wants to say hello to Aunt Millie, they can, and Aunt Millie dies a happy woman. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. So I record everything that I go out and do, but only live stream those events that make the most sense, and that's for that exact reason. So I should save that for another show because I think it's a very interesting topic. It certainly is to me. May not be to you just yet. And you know what else I need? I need you to share my videos so that we can build that audience. Again, this is not what I do for a living. I'm just doing this two things actually. One, to know that I can. Two, so that others can find value in it. So as long as you subscribe, get notifications, and share it whenever you can, and comment, by all means comment. I'll take the good with the bad. I don't care. It'll only help the community that I'm trying to build here, and will only be more value to you. So, all right, it's been about 25 minutes. I don't know, I may not, what I really want to do with the rest of my day here, besides crack another busted knuckle. We'll do a whole show on craft beers. I used to be such a craft beer snob. I didn't want any craft beers. I would only drink domestics. Can you relate? What I didn't want to happen was I didn't want to get so involved in craft beers that I would go somewhere and all they had were domestics, and I would think, shit, these suck. But I got into a band that our what did she play? Jesus, I think it was saxophone, wasn't it? Because I've had a couple bands where gals played keyboards, saxophones, and of course sang and fiddle. But I think she played saxophone. Anyway, she actually brewed beer. So after every rehearsal, she would come out with her, homebrewed bottles, and I'd drink it. And I thought, oh man, that is so much better than the Miller Lite that I'd been drinking for years. And the only reason I went to light. See, I'm already doing a show when I shouldn't do a show. So listen, I'm going to leave you with that tease. You'll find out more about my beer tastes another time. But like I said, I encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, both the YouTube audience and the Facebook audience. And I promise that I'm going to come on every single day I possibly can. So look for me to see you soon. Again, happy Thanksgiving. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.